First thing I want to show you is this little program down here, which I find very useful. It's called the Mixmeister BPM Analyzer, and I'll bring it up. And basically what it does is, if you open a file over here, for instance, and you pick your, if we pick a file, we can pick a file, any music file, press OK. I'm going to press cancel. I've already picked the Adele Atkins 19 album, and it automatically analyzes each song and gives you a very precise estimate of what or how many beats per minute each song is, and then it stores that information for you. So when you're working in a host environment like Sonar 7, and you're trying to queue up a track, this can be very useful, very, very useful. And best of all, it's free. So right now, I'm working on a song called Right as Rain, and because I want to learn, about it, I can study theory by emulating others, and I do that a lot. So it's 137.15 beats, and I'll just call up the host environment, which is Sonar 7, Producer Edition. These are my synths that I'm using for this program at this point. There'll probably be more. So over here, you can just click on here, right? And then this thing right here, we can go up or down and adjust our tempo. So I just automatically adjust it to 137.15. Then I drag it over to where I want it to be to start, and then that's all there is to it, right? I'm queued up. It sure beats the way I used to have to do it before I found Mixmeister, which I'd queue it up at the beginning, and then I'd start where I thought it might be, and then it'd be a matter of going back and forth till finally I honed in on the proper tempo, and it would sometimes take a while to do that, and it'd be very difficult to get it precise. I'd end up dragging it forward as I moved through the song, or dragging it backwards in order to get synced back up, and it was very annoying and distracting. So welcome to that little bit of very valuable information. This is the main track view in Sonar. Tend to always come back to here because this is where it displays audio, and this is audio and this MIDI information. Expand this a bit here. MIDI information. It's, for editing, I can, actually grab all this stuff and move it around if I want. So for arranging and a lot of different reasons for being here. This is called the effects bay. And if I right click in this environment here on an audio channel, then I can access my software synthesizers. I'll just give you a short, I just reformatted my disk, so I don't have very much on here, but it's still considerable, actually. And then my audio effects, some of the audio effects that I have. Just let you have a look. Perfect Space, if you've never heard of that, what it does is it employs, or it uses wave recordings of acoustic environments, and is able to recreate spaces like cathedrals, any space basically. The acoustic attributes of that space, and it can apply them to whatever audio information that you plug into it. It's really quite something, pretty impressive. Vintage channel is, I won't show you, but it's a very handy thing. This is part of my waves. Oh, these are VST. All this stuff is part of well, we'll get to that later. It's very exciting nonetheless. And so to get out of here, I've already called up my Colossus program, made by East West and made to function by Native Instruments. Let's have a look at it here. It's a pretty simple environment to work in. This is just master filter, like a EQ, right? So here's you can cut off your highs, you can cut off all your lows, you can emphasize mid-range, right? There's a few different presets here, right? And then of course you can just access everything numerically. This is a delay, onboard delay. It's cool. I don't use it very much. This is onboard chorus. You know, all of these, and reverb. Very handy, depending on what you need. Here we can change the characteristics of the sound to some extent. Volume envelope, for instance. If I were to screw with this, I could change how the attack were to happen. So instead of like a sharp pling, it may, if I reshape the envelope like this, it may come in like a zing, that type of thing. I've got it set up for, right now, I'm using the Rhodes. This is a nice piano. It was popular back in the 60s, 70s, and still quite popular. I'm not using the mandolin on this track, but I put it in here so you can have a look at it or see how it sounds. Isn't that nice? Now I'm pressing the same thing here. You can hear though that the program doesn't repeat the same picking pattern. It'll play an up and a down and an up and a down, and it has some nice. You can hear the pick scraping against the strings and things. It's polyphonic, so even though in this environment, if I play another key, it cuts the last one out. If I play it, if I accessed it some other way, it would allow the strings to ring and a lot more functionality. Let's look at some drums here. This is called the Tiny Ethnic Percussion. Just a little thing. See how easy it is to get from one program to the other, right? Some nice sounds on here. I like this one. No, this one. It's nice. Okay, here's some synth sounds. See how easy it is to go between? Audition sounds. And one more. Let's see, I'm going to pull these off here. Remove. Don't need this either. If you're not using them, it's good to free up RAM by getting rid of stuff. But you'll learn all about that as you're doing things. I'll just let you have a look here. Here's a variety of acoustic drum kits. They're pretty good depending on what you want. As a drummer, I like to use a dedicated program with a larger sample base so I can get a more subtle or a broader range of expression, shall we say. More control over the sound. The same goes for guitars, but it has a nice set of acoustic guitars here. Choirs, electric bass, some very convincing bass sounds. I'll just, I'll pull up an upright bass, for instance, just as an example. Here's electric guitar.